Today is Sunday, June 1st. It's about 4 in the afternoon. You can see in my apiary the sun is going to set behind this big tree over here. It's about 75 degrees, a lot of flight going on as the sun goes back. It'll be about 8 o'clock, 8:30 tonight, somewhere between there when the sun will set, but these bees are going to be active right through. They're flying off in this direction, and one of my objectives today for my June 1st inspection is to just go through each one of my hives and see what happens. If you're following the series from my inspection last time, you're going to notice a different configuration in the apiary. Before, we had 3 nucleus hives set up in here, and we took those back to the mentoring yard where they were split off from, and they'll be part of the Northwest New Jersey beekeeping stock. In the meantime, I've caught a couple swarms and made some splits and have some different hive configurations here. So let's go through each one of them and see what we're going to get today as we do the inspection. We'll start with the one on the end there, which is a 3 medium stack. So off camera, I got a couple things prepped. I have my smoker lit. I have my quiet box here, which I'll explain in a minute. I have my clipboard here with my inspection forms that I'm just going to record what's going on. And at hand, I have my frame hanger and my hive tool. So I'm getting everything started. Go in, look at the box, and get out. That's my objective here. Sharon was just here a second ago taking a look, and one of the things she noticed is the sound is palpable here. You could just hear all the bees flying. Very industrious today. It's a good forage day for them. And as I look out across the field, I could see bees are all over the place. So they're really working right now. In the last 2 weeks, Bob Kloss was reporting from his hive scale that one of his hives went up somewhere about 20 pounds in the last week or so, in the last 2 weeks. So they are actively bringing forage. Now it's June 1st today. I suspect that things are going to start ramping down about June 15th, June 30th. So hopefully these girls are getting to work and doing a really good job. Now, if you didn't see the other videos, this is a walk-away split, and it's a full stack of mediums. Going to try this form factor this year, and I'm going to go in and take a look at how they're doing. I also had some excess honey. This was in a full-size box, so they built some comb off the bottom. I'm going to feed this to these bees. I might as well give them back their honey. So let's go in here and get it going. I can see the bees are right up in the top here, boiling out of the inner cover. That's good news. I have a lot of big ants right here on the back. That's not so good news. And a spider on my hand. Just a little puff of smoke, let them know I'm coming. A quick look down and I see honey all the way across, which is a good sign. I'm just going to go pop a couple frames here in the top and take a peek. Starting with frame number 2. This one's just built out a little bit, not a lot on here. Empty comb, it's got stored nectar in it on both sides. So the good news is, actually let me put this on the frame hanger so I can get smoked. Now if I look and see what I have going on here, I have capped honey all the way through, both sides. And the next frame is open. Some capping going on. Got a little bit of pollen stored right here. That interests me because that means that there is brood right underneath, is my guess. I'm going to go one more and see what we got. It's capped honey, lots of nectar stored, a little bit of pollen. This is interesting. They have an open horseshoe. That almost leads me to believe that they're prepping to potentially let the queen come up here and build some brood in this nest. Now you have 3 deeps, that's the equivalent of 2. So I think what I could do is put a couple honey boxes on here and let them expand their brood chamber. So I'll have to go back into the garage and get a couple. That's it, that's as far as I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna put this all back together. I'm gonna put the frames back where they came from. And I'll go get a honey box and I'll place my empty or my excess honey in those. Keep getting a little queasy about whether the queen is going to put some brood up here. But they're all mediums, and that's the point of this. And as is always the case, Tiger's come out and he's rubbing against the... Hi, buddy. Don't be doing that, huh? Scoot. Scoot. No. Good. If you're observant, you're going to notice no handheld here. This box was built incorrectly. So I pulled my box off, put the inner cover over it to keep it quiet. Grabbed my spare inner cover and put it here to keep at least part of it covered. And now I'm going to go after frame number 2. And everything that I pull out, I'll put it in my box or hang on my hanger depending on what I'm doing. Not a lot of propolis in this hive. I'm going after frame number 2 just to look and see what I got. And it's just open wax. Nothing going on. Fair amount of bees in here. So let me start taking stock of what I have here. Number 1, open comb. Low number of bees, but there are some bees on there. Both sides. Number 2, open comb. No stores, low number of bees. Number 3, open comb. No stores on the outside. Actually, there's some nectar and some pollen, very small amount. Nectar and pollen on the top and all fresh comb in the middle. Looks like it's a preparation for brood. Position number 4. Brood. Freshly capped. Lots of eggs and larvae all the way through the entire frame. So my suspicion was right. And given that it's set up all the way across, I don't anticipate finding a queen in here, because she's somewhere where she can be laying. Getting a little fussy with me. That's interesting. Give a little more smoke. And there goes my box. That's not good. Complete carpet of brood. Both sides, number 5. Number 6, carpet of brood. Both sides. Number 7, carpet of brood. Both sides. Number 8, open full of eggs all through the center. This hive is about to explode. Eggs all through the center, so open brood all through that. Number 8. Number 9 is terrible looking frame, and there's not much in it. They're starting to build some wax out on it. The foundation was all wavy, so it's not built out very nicely. And then the next frame is just open, there's nothing on it. So I'll tell you what, since I have these nice frames and they're honey, and honey belongs on the outside, kills me to scrape this wax off, but that's what I'm going to do. And I'll take it with me and reuse it somewhere. But I'm going to give them this nice honey frame right here on the outside where it belongs. And I have another one the same. And I'm going to go get a honey box and put it up on here. So this hive looks spectacular, as expected. Now what I'm doing here is I'm tightening all my frames together so that they maintain the bee space. Put my honey box back on, and I'll go back a little later and get some additional mediums to put up on top. Now I have a couple bees here on this, which wasn't a very useful frame. I'm just going to leave it lay here, and I know in time they'll go back in, and then I'll put the inner cover back on. So hive number 1 done, looks very good. Ready for a couple honey supers. Now let me take you through this. This was a walk-away split, had a great looking queen in it. I put 2 boxes with comb on it, and it had some honey in it, and all 3 of these boxes are chock full of bees. So this hive has just absolutely blown up with the availability of the nectar and pollen to them right now. Put a couple honey boxes on it, and this thing is really going to be in good shape. I'm not going to go in this hive right here. I know it's in here because I was in there yesterday. I took a quick look. This hive originally started out, this one, as a split, and we left them to raise a queen and they didn't do it. The bees are starting to emerge. They're starting to consume their resources. They are foraging and they're bringing stuff in, but they have no queen. I have a couple queens on order this week. They'll be coming in, and I'm going to give this box a queen so that it will take off. Let's go look in this one and see what we have going on. By the way, in between shoots, I filled out my inspection form for that box that we just took a look at. So I've already given this hive a little bit of smoke. I take a look at the top. I have a couple bees milling around. If I'm not mistaken, this is the hive that started as a split, so I'm not expecting it to have a ton of resources, but we're going to see what's going on in here. And already I see some interesting arrangements. So this hive, I put some empty frames in with hopes that they would build me out some comb for my top bar hive that I haven't started yet in the background. And you can see on the first one they've done nothing. I see bridge comb down in the bottom, and I see bridge comb from frame to frame. So what I've put in here is I have this is a strange experiment I've done, but this is a really heavy frame, totally loaded with nectar, and you can see they built this wonky comb out through the middle. And my hope was that they would build between the two. Yeah, I've got bridge comb all over the place. Let me put this in my quiet box. That's what it's here for. Let me make sure the queen's not on here. Not that she should be. No, it's just absolutely loaded with nectar. So I put an empty frame in, and this box really needed some TLC. I ran out of time and I just put stuff in it. It's not in a good way. Let's see what we got going on here. This is an ugly frame and they've done nothing with it. I have another one of the shims in here. They've done nothing with it. I've got a full bar, which they've loaded nectar into, both sides. And unfortunately, I need to put foundation in these. So shame on me for not doing that. But the interesting part is they've built some comb down here. I don't know what they were thinking or how it was supposed to work. Let me show you what they did. They built this. Who knows what the purpose of that was? Let me see if I could straighten that out. And it's all brood. And it's drone. And it's going to serve no purpose. I'm going to have to go get some rubber bands, and maybe between the two, the one that I took off earlier, I can create some comb for them. So this is my bad on the top here. I really should give them some drawn out comb to work with, or some foundation, because they don't have much to work with. And by the way, that bottom box looks absolutely loaded. So let me take this off and take a look at what I got underneath. Yeah, I remember being out of time last time and just stuck that box on top with all the things. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frames in the bottom here. I don't even have 9 frames in the top. I've run out of equipment, and they built bridge comb across. Now as I look through here, I don't think you could find a place for another bee. They are absolutely loaded. So I need to do some work with this hive to get it on the right path. Bridge comb. This is what happens when you run 8 frames and 10 frame equipment. They build bridge comb. So at minimum, I'm going to put another box down here. Shame on me for the way I've handled this. Bridge comb. Well, let's go take a look and see what these girls are up to. I can tell you the box is loaded with bees. Frame number 1 of 8. Nectar and pollen on the outside as expected. Nectar and pollen, they're both half covered with bees. I'm being pretty intrusive today. Number 2, all kinds of brood. Traditional horseshoe, brood in the middle, pollen ring around the outside. Same thing on this side. Good to go. Now the interesting thing was, this was a split. So they had to raise a queen. This one did not have one. And I see what I want to see is the queen is operational. So quite frankly, that's it for me. I'm going to put this together. And I'm going to have to go get a extra frame. Actually, let me just see if I can pull one of these out of here. Now at least they have 9 frames. No problems with this because they're all the same bees. Getting a little feisty here. Didn't particularly like my intrusion. Just going to cover them off. And you know what? For right now, I'm going to leave this box. I'll put the top cover on it. I'll go build a second proper box to go on top, and then I'll come back and put it together. So I just picked up a rock. This box has this plastic cover, which I absolutely detest, but I've run out of outer covers. I'm going to put this rock up in the front so that it serves to be a ventilation for this hive. And that's it. I'm going to close it off for right now, and I'll go put a box, like I said. I'm going to take a look at this hive. It started out as a split. I've already smoked it, and I'm going to pop the inner cover off here and take a look at what we have going on. So I have 9 frames running in this box, and I can see that 4 of them here, 3, 4, 5, are loaded with bees. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to look for existence of brood in here. Smoking here near the corner. I'm going to go right into the middle. I'm not going to mess around. Getting in a little bit later in the day here. And this hive is in full shade, so I don't want to be messing around too much. I'm sure that a lot of the foragers have come back for the day, although they don't seem too concerned about my presence. A lot of bees. No brood. I would have thought we would have found brood in here. Let's take a look at the next one. What's going on with you girls? Again, lots of bees, but no brood. Big area laid out for them to have a queen lay. Pollen ring. So where's their queen? Why isn't she doing anything? Gotta pull a stinger out here. Got stung once. A little feisty, these girls. How is it that I have no queens in any of these hives? That's not good. Pollen and nectar, but no brood. Lots of bees. No queen. And again, same formation, so they have it all set up to lay, but I see no queen, and everybody looks really nervous in here. Very strange. Now I'm going to go back and look for a queen and see what I could find. Yep, no sign of a queen in here. Well, I don't need to go any further. I know what I got in here. Nothing. Damn. This is not what I'm looking for. Everybody's fanning here. I don't know what they're fanning for. All right. So 1, 2, 3 hives without queens so far. 2 of the splits that we made did not make their own queen for whatever reason. All the bees have emerged. There's plenty of bees and there's some storage in here. And there's readiness for a queen. Now the funny thing is this week I'll probably get a queen and come back in here and I'll find eggs or something like that. Who knows? But this hive is acting very nervous and I'm going to put it back together. I think if I remember correctly, last time I looked at this hive, I had the same condition and I said I was going to come back and look and see. Again, they have preparation area for a queen to lay, but there's no queen present, so I'm not sure. You know, it could be that she went out, or she is out, or she's never coming back. I don't know. We'll find out. Last hive to take a look at. Let's see what's going on in here. This was a swarm hive captured. If you watch some of our videos, this is the one that marched down the fence and into the hive. I've got one bee inspecting me, so you can probably hear on the camera buzz. I'm just going to go right in the middle here and see what we have going on. All kinds of bees looking at me, but nobody coming off the comb. They're all lined up, literally looking at me. It's very interesting. Hello, girls. And plenty of brood here. Done. That's all I need to see. Good to go. Carpet of brood, both sides. Couldn't get any more. So given it's late, I'm just going to call it a day. These girls too need some additional frames with stuff in it. Kind of a bit of a mess going on here. I need some frames with some brood built out. Or some frames with some comb built out, I mean. That's good. Happy about that one. Worst comes to worst, I could just combine a couple of these. Might be an interesting approach. So I got one more thing to show you on the day. This is a new box that I just put in place. This is a swarm that I captured. I looked in this hive yesterday. There doesn't appear to be a queen. Seems to be a running theme. This is a polystyrene hive. It's brand new. I wanted to try this form factor out. These are boxes that come from Finland. I'll show you what they look like on the inside. They're very stiff, and I painted it with some special paint. This is dry lock paint that you would use on masonry. And this is what they look like. They pretty much just go together, and they have these hard plastic sleeves. And the frames sit right on them, and we'll see how they're going. So this hive has 4 frames through the middle. They have bees that are bringing in pollen and honey, or pollen and nectar, but they have no queen in here. So as we look across, we're gonna get some queens this week, and it couldn't come at a better time because we need to get all these hives straightened out. So we'll watch and see how this one goes. I have 2 deep boxes like these and 2 honey boxes that go on top in the garage to go with them. Pretty neat boxes, and I'm excited to try them out. I especially want to know how they overwinter. I'm going to come around anyway, so. Okay, thanks. I can see the red light on the front.
Measure twice, cut once.
Nice.